Welcome to USA Coin Spot. Most people would spend these pennies without a second thought, but one mistake at the mint turned it into a treasure. Top 1. Have you ever held a single coin that could change your entire financial future? What if I told you that a simple-looking penny, yes, just 1 cent, minted in 2009, could be worth more than what some people make in an entire year? If you're in the US, or even just collecting American coins, you need to know about this. Because hidden inside US mint proof sets lies one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever created, the 2009 Lincoln D penny. And no, we're not talking about a myth or rumor. This is a real coin, with real market demand, and real collectors paying real cash. This is the story of the American 2009 Lincoln D penny, the one that's turning ordinary people into thousands of dollars richer overnight. Let's get into it. In 2009, the United States Mint released a very special series of Lincoln cents. It was the 200th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln penny. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint issued 4 unique reverse designs, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life. Out of all 4, the Professional Life in Illinois design struck at the Denver Mint has caught serious heat, especially in proof condition. But here's the twist. We're not talking about any regular D-Mint penny from circulation. We're talking about the rare, untouched proof version, the kind that never saw a cash register, a pocket, or a piggy bank. This proof coin was included only in 2009 U.S. Mint proof sets, which were sold to collectors and never meant for general use. Now proof coins are different. They're not made like regular pennies. They're struck multiple times with precision-polished dies on high-quality planchets, creating that stunning mirror-like surface and frosted image details. The result? A coin that looks like art, sharp, flawless, and made to shine. The 2009 Lincoln D proof penny with the Professional Life design, in pristine condition, is the type of coin that serious collectors dream of. And the demand? It's skyrocketing. And here's why this coin is setting the hobby on fire. Only a small number of these proof coins remain in top condition. Most people who bought proof sets back in 2009 stored them away without realizing what they had. And today, these coins are quietly being pulled from dusty drawers, old collections, or estate sales, and showing up in high-dollar auctions across the country. But the key is grade. If you've got a PR69 or PR70 Deep Cameo, authenticated by PCGS or NGC, you're not just holding a shiny penny. You're holding a serious investment. Collectors and investors are scrambling to get their hands on these coins in perfect condition. Dealers know it. Auction houses know it. And now, you know it. So what do you look for? First, make sure it's the 2009 Lincoln Professional Life Reverse, where Lincoln is standing in front of the Illinois State Capitol. Next, confirm it's the D Mint mark, for Denver. Then, check that it's a proof coin. That means mirror background, frosted raised images, and no wear at all. These coins should look fresh, sharp, and untouched. And finally, send it to a trusted grading service. Because that's the step that turns a nice coin into a money magnet. Now here's the moment you've been waiting for. The actual value of this coin in top condition? Some of these 2009 Lincoln D proof pennies are being sold, right now, for between $3,500 and $39,000. Yes, a single penny. And yes, from a proof set sitting quietly in someone's drawer for the past 15 years. You don't need a metal detector. You don't need to dig through tons of change. Just go back and look at your old proof sets, because you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. The next time you hear someone say, "It's just a penny," remember this video. This isn't just any penny. This is the American 2009 Lincoln D proof set coin that could turn 1 cent into tens of thousands of dollars. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more hidden coin treasures, and drop a comment if you've found one of these rare pennies, because your coin story could be next. Top 2. Is it really possible that a single penny, something most people overlook or toss in a jar, could actually be worth the price of a luxury car or even more? Well, if you're holding on to a 1960 Lincoln D penny from a proof set, you might be sitting on a coin that could absolutely explode in value. This isn't hype. This is real. And today, we're revealing the truth about a specific version of the 1960 Lincoln penny that's turning heads in the coin collecting world and catching fire at auctions across the United States. If you've got an old coin collection, or better yet, an original US mint proof set from the 1960s, keep watching. This is the kind of find that people dream about. Let's rewind. In 1960, the United States Mint struck the iconic Lincoln cent in both Philadelphia and Denver, the D mint mark standing for Denver. But what makes this year stand out is the release of two versions, the small date and the large date varieties. Yes, the date size alone changes everything. But even more special are the coins that were sealed into official 1960 US mint proof sets, untouched, mirror finished, and struck to perfection using highly polished dies and planchets. These weren't just coins. These were miniature masterpieces. Now here's where it gets interesting. Among these proof coins lies a version of the 1960 Lincoln D penny that collectors are obsessed with. It's extremely rare, incredibly hard to find in flawless condition, and more desirable than ever. Why? Because over the decades, most proof sets from 1960 have been mishandled, damaged, or improperly stored. That means pristine examples are now few and far between, and the ones that have survived? They're becoming legends in the numismatic world. You see, when it comes to real value, condition is everything. Coins that are graded at the highest levels, like PR69 or the Holy Grail, PR70 Deep Cameo, can fetch jaw-dropping amounts at auction. These are coins with zero blemishes, laser-sharp details, and a mirror finish that looks like it was struck yesterday. If your 1960 D Lincoln penny matches those qualities, you're not just holding a historical piece, you're holding serious money. So how can you tell? First, check for that D mint mark under the date. That proves it was minted in Denver. Next, look for the proof finish. These coins shine with a mirror-like background and have frosted raised images. You'll instantly see the difference compared to regular circulated coins. Then, inspect the date style. The small date version is especially desirable in some cases. If it checks all those boxes, it's time to take the next step, professional grading. Because that's where collectors are going wild. Auction houses across the country have seen rare proof 1960 Lincoln D pennies reach jaw-dropping price levels when they hit the open market in pristine, professionally graded condition. These aren't rumors. These are documented sales. And every month, collectors are digging into old proof sets, hoping to find one of these miracle coins. Now here's the part that gets really exciting. Some of the highest quality examples of the 1960 Lincoln D penny from the proof set, coins with deep cameo contrast, perfect strike, and preserved for over 60 years in untouched beauty, have sold for between $33,000 and $70,000. Yes, you heard that right. From one single penny, a coin that could have been hiding in your family's drawer, forgotten in a box, or sealed in a proof set you inherited years ago. This is the kind of story that makes coin collecting more than a hobby. It becomes a treasure hunt. So go back. Check those proof sets. Pull out that magnifying glass. You might just be holding a little copper coin that could change your life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because we've got more coin secrets coming that could turn your pocket change into payday. And if you've got a 1960 proof penny, it's time to look at it a lot closer. Top 3. What if I told you that a small, shiny penny from 1961, one that most people forgot about decades ago, could actually be worth more than your car, your rent for a whole year, or even your entire savings? This is not a dream. This is the shocking truth about one of the most underestimated coins in U.S. history, the 1961 Lincoln penny from a United States mint proof set. This coin might be quietly sitting in a collection, untouched for over 60 years, and today, it could make someone tens of thousands of dollars richer overnight. If you or someone in your family owns a proof set from the early 60s, don't move. Watch this video till the end. Because we're breaking down the secrets of this small coin, why it's making headlines in the collector world, and how you can find out if yours is worth a fortune. Let's dive in. The 1961 Lincoln cent looks simple at first glance. Classic Abraham Lincoln profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But what makes it truly valuable is not the design, it's the condition, the minting process, and the collector demand around proof coins from that era. In 1961, the U.S. Mint produced millions of regular Lincoln pennies for circulation, but also made a much smaller batch of proof coins. These proof coins weren't made for spending. They were minted specifically for collectors, with highly polished dies, mirror-like finishes, and extra care taken to strike every detail with perfection. They were sealed inside official U.S. Mint proof sets, protected in plastic cases and sold only through mail orders and select outlets. But here's the thing, most people never looked at these coins again. They were thrown in drawers, tucked away in boxes, or passed down without a second thought. Now, decades later, collectors are going wild for these coins, especially the 1961 Lincoln penny proof in top condition. So what makes it so valuable? First, the finish. Proof coins from 1961 have a deep mirror background with frosted raised images. It's instantly recognizable and breathtaking when well preserved. Second, the condition. If your coin is flawless, untouched, and has perfect details under magnification, it may qualify for a PR69 or PR70 deep cameo grade. That's the holy grail for proof coins. It means it's one of the finest examples in existence. And third, the rarity in high grades. Most proof coins from that year have tiny imperfections. Only a handful of 1961 Lincoln proof pennies have ever earned a top-tier grade. And that's exactly why collectors are paying insane amounts for them. Let's talk about demand. Auction houses across the US are watching these coins get snatched up as fast as they appear, because every collector wants to add a perfect 1961 proof penny to their collection. And they're not just offering pocket change. They're offering serious cash. So before you dismiss that old proof set sitting in your basement, attic, or safe, take another look. Because inside that plastic holder might be a tiny copper coin with the power to change your financial reality. This is the kind of find that makes national headlines. This is the kind of coin that transforms quiet collectors into overnight success stories. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, a top-grade, certified, deep cameo 1961 Lincoln penny from a proof set has been valued and sold at auction for between $33,000 and $70,000. Yes, from one single penny. So the question is, do you have one? Go check. Because this isn't just a coin. It's a jackpot in disguise. Subscribe now for more rare coin discoveries, tips on what to look for, and insider coin market knowledge that could put real money in your pocket. Don't let your treasure go unnoticed. That 1961 penny you forgot about might just be the most valuable thing you own. Top 4. What if the most valuable thing you've ever owned isn't in your bank account, not in your driveway, and definitely not hanging in your closet? What if it's sitting quietly in a dusty drawer, buried in an old coin folder, or sealed inside a plastic case from decades ago, and you've never even looked at it twice? Because today, we're unlocking the unbelievable story of one of the most overlooked coins in American history. The 1964 Lincoln D penny from a U.S. Mint proof set, a coin that could be worth more than your car, your rent for the next year, or even a down payment on a house. If you're in the United States and you have access to old coins, a family collection, or vintage U.S. Mint proof sets, this is not a video you want to skip. Because what you're about to hear could change how you look at every single coin in your collection, especially one that looks like just another penny. Let's rewind to 1964. It was a year of huge transition in U.S. coinage. The mint was under stress. The nation was hoarding silver. And collectors were panicking. In the middle of all this, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of proof coins as part of the final true proof set, before switching to special mint sets in 1965. These coins were not struck for circulation. They were made for collectors, with meticulous precision. Mirror-like surfaces, razor-sharp details, and a shine that could blind you if you tilted it just right under the light. These were pieces of art sealed in protective holders and sold by the mint directly to the public. Now among these, the 1964 Lincoln penny stands out. But not just because it was the last of its kind for a while, and not just because its old. It stands out because of a mystery. A numismatic enigma that has fueled collector debates for decades. Because while all proof coins in 1964 were supposed to be minted in Philadelphia, and thus carry no mint mark, a tiny, almost ghostly number of Lincoln cents have surfaced over the years bearing a D mark, Denver. Yes, a 1964 D penny, in proof condition. This is where things get intense. The U.S. Mint has no official record of producing 1964 proof Lincoln cents with a D mint mark. That's why every confirmed example of one sends shockwaves through the collector world. Some speculate they were minting anomalies, others believe they were experimental strikes, and a few insist they were unreleased test proofs that somehow made it into the wild. Whatever the truth is, one fact remains: they are insanely rare. And if that wasn't enough to raise eyebrows, some of these have shown up in perfect condition. I'm talking about PR69 and PR70 Deep Cameo, the highest possible grades awarded by PCGS or NGC. These grades represent the absolute best of the best, flawless coins with strong mirror contrast, perfect strike quality, and zero visible imperfections even under magnification. So now imagine this: a single 1964 proof Lincoln penny, bearing the Denver D mint mark, preserved in pristine condition for over 60 years, still sealed in its original case. Or found in an old estate proof set that hasn't seen daylight since the 60s. That's not just a coin anymore. That's a treasure chest in copper. Collectors all across America are combing through vintage proof sets, ripping open old packaging, and scanning every 1964 penny they can find, looking for this elusive D-marked gem. And when one finally does surface, the coin world goes wild. Bidding wars break out. Auction prices skyrocket. Everyone wants it. But only a handful will ever hold one. And if you're lucky enough to find one in your proof set, or in your family's collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Now here's the truth you've waited for. An actual, authenticated, and professionally graded 1964 Lincoln D penny from a proof set, in deep cameo condition, has reached jaw-dropping sales at major coin auctions, with real buyers paying between $33,000 and $69,000. Yes. From 1 cent. So the next time you pass by your old coin stash, proof set collection, or family safe, stop. Take a closer look. Grab a magnifier. Inspect that 1964 penny, because it could be the most valuable thing you've ever owned, and you didn't even know it. And if you want to discover more rare U.S. coins, high-value pennies, quarters, and secret mints worth big money, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, because your next hidden coin might be worth tens of thousands of dollars too. Top 5. What if a single penny, one that looks just like every other coin in your collection, could be worth more than a brand new truck? You might think it's just copper. Just a penny. Just 1 cent. But today, we're uncovering a shocking truth about the 1967 Lincoln penny, one specific version of this coin that's not only rare, but hiding in proof-like quality that collectors are desperate to get their hands on. And if you've got a proof set from the late 60s, you'd better watch this video till the very end, because that little penny inside might just change your life. Now let's rewind a bit. In 1967, the United States Mint was operating under extraordinary conditions. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped placing mint marks on coins in an effort to deter coin hoarding. This policy lasted from 1965 to 1967, so yes, that means no D or S mint marks were officially used on coins during that 3-year period. But here's where things get fascinating. Even though mint marks were removed, the Mint still produced special mint sets, also known as SMS, and these were created in place of proof sets during this time. Unlike regular circulation coins, special mint set coins had a superior finish, somewhere between standard strike and proof quality. They were sealed in protective packaging and sold to collectors. And among them, a very limited number of Lincoln pennies were struck with unusually high-quality finishes, some even rivaling true proof coins. This is where the magic happens. Some of the 1967 SMS Lincoln cents came out with exceptional eye appeal, mirror-like fields, sharp details, frosted images. These are known as cameo or deep cameo SMS cents, and they're incredibly rare. Even rarer? A 1967 Lincoln penny with proof-like quality and AD mint mark, which, officially, was never supposed to exist that year. Yes, you heard that right. There have been sightings and claims of 1967 Lincoln D pennies showing up in private collections, either as error coins, test strikes, or mint anomalies that somehow escaped into the world. And when you combine this possible mint mark mystery with a coin struck in flawless SMS or proof-like condition, you're dealing with something extremely scarce. And collectors are paying serious money for it. Why? Because rarity plus condition equals value. If your 1967 Lincoln penny has that deep mirror finish, flawless surfaces, and cameo contrast, and especially if it shows a mint mark that shouldn't even exist, you're not just holding a collectible. You're holding a prize. A jackpot. Now here's what to look for. First, check your 1967 special mint set. These sets were sold in hard plastic cases, often overlooked or forgotten in attics, storage boxes, or passed down through generations. Take out the penny and examine it under a good light. Does it shine like a mirror? Do the raised images, like Lincoln's portrait or the lettering, look frosty compared to the background? If so, it could be a cameo or deep cameo finish, which instantly makes it more valuable. And if you see a D mint mark, you could be staring at something extremely rare. It's not officially documented, but mystery and controversy only make collectors more obsessed. Now comes the most important part, grading. If your coin appears flawless, no nicks, no spots, perfect surfaces, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because a coin graded SP69 or SP70 deep cameo becomes premium property in the collector world. Dealers, investors, and high-end collectors are actively hunting for this exact type of 1967 penny. And when one shows up at auction in near-perfect condition, the bids start flying. Because even though it's just a penny, it's unlike almost any other from its era. And now, here's the number that could shock you. A verified, professionally graded, pristine 1967 Lincoln D penny from a proof or special mint set, in deep cameo condition, has sold for amounts between $33,000 and $67,000. That's right. A single coin. A 1-cent piece that could change everything. So go back. Dig out that 1967 SMS set. Look closely at that Lincoln penny. And don't assume it's just copper. Because if it has the look, the quality, and the mystery, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and drop a comment if you've got a 1967 Lincoln cent. We might feature your story next. And remember, the next time someone says, "It's just a penny," smile. Because you know better. Top 6. Imagine holding a penny in your hand and realizing it's worth more than a brand new sports car. It sounds unbelievable, right? But this is no made-up story. This is the shocking reality behind one of the most overlooked yet highly valuable coins in American history, the 1973 Lincoln D penny from a U.S. proof set. Yes, the same kind of penny you may have walked past, tossed in a change jar, or never gave a second thought. But collectors? Oh, they're hunting this coin like buried treasure. And if you have one sealed away in a proof set, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune without even knowing it. Let's take a trip back to 1973. The year was full of major headlines, from the rise of American muscle cars to major shifts in politics. But quietly, at the United States Mint, something far more valuable was being produced, something small, round, and copper, the 1973 Lincoln penny. Now here's where it gets exciting. In 1973, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln cents for circulation. Those were the ones you'd find in pocket change. But a much smaller number were produced as proof coins, specially made for collectors. These proof coins weren't just average. They were struck with polished dies, double-struck for detail, and sealed in official U.S. Mint proof sets, designed to showcase America's coins in their absolute best form. But what makes the 1973 Lincoln D penny from a proof set so valuable isn't just that it's rare. It's what collectors and experts discovered years later, because during the minting process, something unexpected happened. You see, proof coins in 1973 were only supposed to be made at the San Francisco Mint, which used the S mint mark. No proof coins were officially made at the Denver Mint, which uses the D mint mark. But here's where the mystery deepens. Over time, coin collectors started reporting 1973 Lincoln proof cents with a D mint mark, coins that were never supposed to exist. Whether it was a minting error, an experimental piece, or a rogue batch that slipped through the cracks, no one knows for sure. But when these coins started appearing, and especially when some were found in flawless, deep mirror-proof condition, the market went crazy. Because this wasn't just a penny anymore. It was a potential minting mistake, a rarity, and a perfect storm of collector demand. Now combine that mystery with flawless preservation, and you've got something collectors would pay a fortune for. So what does it look like? The ideal version of this 1973 D Lincoln penny would have a deep cameo finish, frosted raised features, shiny mirror fields, and no signs of wear. It would have been stored safely inside a 1973 proof set, and never touched by human hands. And if your coin looks this good, you need to send it to a grading service immediately. Because once it's certified, especially with a PR69 or PR70 deep cameo grade, that tiny coin in your hand becomes one of the most valuable 1970s-era Lincoln cents on the market. Why is the value so high? Because condition, rarity, and controversy equal massive demand. Only a few of these coins have surfaced, and the story behind them keeps collectors hungry to own one. They know that when a coin that shouldn't exist actually does, and it's in pristine condition, it becomes legendary. And now, here's the part you've been waiting for. A high-grade, certified 1973 Lincoln D penny from a U.S. proof set, in pristine deep cameo condition, has sold in auctions for as much as $33,000 to $65,000. Yes. One single penny. So before you ignore that old proof set sitting in a closet, drawer, or safety deposit box, open it up. Look closely. And if you see that D mint mark on a 1973 proof cent, don't just smile, get it graded, protect it, and realize what you're holding. Because sometimes, the tiniest things carry the biggest value. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable US coins, from pennies and nickels to quarters and half dollars, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And let us know in the comments, have you checked your 1973 proof set lately? Because the next person to find one of these might be you. Top 7. You might think a penny can't change your life. But what if I told you there's a tiny 1-cent coin, sitting quietly in an old proof set from 1975, that could make you tens of thousands of dollars richer overnight? This isn't just another old coin story. This is the jaw-dropping truth behind a 1975 Lincoln D penny that collectors are fighting over. And if you've got a 1975 US proof set hidden somewhere in your home, it's time to pay attention. Because what looks like an ordinary penny could actually be your golden ticket. Let's go back to the year 1975. The Vietnam War was nearing its end. Gas was 57 cents a gallon. And in the quiet rooms of the United States Mint, proof coins were being carefully struck, not for circulation, but for collectors. The 1975 U.S. Mint proof set included coins of all denominations, from the penny to the half-dollar, each struck with mirror-like fields and razor-sharp detail. These weren't your average pocket change. They were the finest strikes of the year, designed for people who appreciated beauty, rarity, and history in their coins. But hidden among them is one coin that has sparked serious collector chaos: the 1975 Lincoln penny. Now here's where things get crazy. All 1975 proof coins were supposed to be minted in San Francisco, marked with an S mint mark. That was standard procedure. Proof coins equals San Francisco Mint. So when collectors began discovering 1975 Lincoln cents with a D mint mark, the mark for the Denver Mint, which wasn't even producing proofs that year, everything changed. What was this? An error? A secret release? A rogue batch that slipped through the system? No one knows for sure. But here's the thing about coins that aren't supposed to exist. They become some of the most valuable and wanted pieces in numismatic history. Now combine that mystery with perfection. Because some of these 1975 Lincoln D. pennies didn't just escape unnoticed. They were struck in insane condition. We're talking about deep cameo-proof quality. Glossy, mirror-like fields with sharp, frosted features. These aren't just rare. These are next-level, elite-tier, unicorn-status coins. And collectors across the country, from everyday hobbyists to professional investors, are digging through old proof sets, coin folders, and family collections, hoping to find one of these rare, proof-quality 1975 Lincoln D. pennies. But here's the secret. If you find one, it could mean serious money. But only if it's in perfect condition. To unlock its full value, your coin should be sent to a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC, where experts can certify its authenticity and assign it a grade. A grade of PR 69 or PR 70 deep cameo is the ultimate target. These grades mean your coin has survived for nearly 50 years in flawless, untouched condition, something almost no coins from that era can claim. And when one of these top-grade coins hits the auction block, let's just say, things get expensive fast. Why? Because there are only a few out there. Every collector wants it. And with so many people chasing one coin, prices go through the roof. So if you're holding onto a 1975 US proof set, go check it. Right now, carefully remove the penny. Look for that mirror finish. Look for the frosted design. And look closely. Does it have a D min mark? Because if it does, and if it's in pristine, untouched condition, you may be staring at something that's not just rare, not just collectible, but extremely, unbelievably valuable. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. A verified, certified, professionally graded 1975 Lincoln D. penny from a proof set, in deep cameo condition, has sold in the coin market for between $33,000 and $63,000. Yes, from a 1-cent coin. So before you spend another penny, you'd better make sure it's not this one. If you enjoyed this video and want to uncover more rare coins worth serious money, from error pennies and high-grade quarters to valuable nickels and dollar coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because your next rare coin find might be even more valuable than this one. And remember, the difference between 1 cent and $63,000 might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Top 8. Imagine finding a penny, and it turns out to be worth more than your entire yearly salary. Sounds impossible, right? But today, we're uncovering the jaw-dropping truth behind one of the most mysterious, rare, and valuable coins to ever come out of a United States mint proof set, the 1976 Lincoln D. penny. And if you have an old proof set sitting in your house, in a drawer, or passed down from a parent or grandparent, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune without even realizing it. This isn't clickbait. This is one of the most shocking coin discoveries in modern U.S. history, and collectors are paying insane prices for the right version of this coin. Let's dive into it. 1976 was a big year for America. It was the nation's bicentennial, celebrating 200 years of independence. The country was buzzing with patriotism, and the U.S. Mint was pumping out special designs on quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins to honor the historic milestone. But guess what didn't change? The Lincoln penny. It stayed the same, classic design, with Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's where things get interesting. In 1976, the U.S. Mint released proof sets for collectors, carefully packaged coins with mirror-like finishes and razor-sharp details. These were only made at the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S mint mark, and not meant for circulation. So, by official records, there was no such thing as a 1976 Lincoln D. penny from a proof set. And that's exactly why this coin is worth so much money. Because over the years, a very small number of 1976 Lincoln cents with a D mint mark, from the Denver Mint, have been discovered showing proof-like qualities. That's right, a coin that shouldn't even exist in that condition, from a mint that wasn't authorized to produce proofs that year. Some say it was a mint error. Others believe it may have been a test strike, or an experimental run that was never meant to leave the facility. But one thing is certain: when these coins appear, collectors go crazy. But not just for the mint mark. What takes this coin's value from interesting to life-changing is the condition. If your 1976 Lincoln D. Penny came from a proof set and has that deep mirror finish, frosted design elements, and no visible flaws, you could be looking at a coin worthy of a PR69 or PR70 deep cameo grade. And in the world of coin collecting, that's the gold standard. Those grades are reserved for the finest. Examples known: coins that are nearly perfect under magnification, with incredible contrast between the mirror fields and frosted details. Now here's the wild part. Even among all the 1976 Lincoln pennies ever struck, only a few have been found in this combination of Denver mint mark and proof-like, or cameo finish, making them some of the rarest coins of the decade. And when something is that rare, in that condition, with a mystery surrounding its existence, collectors are willing to pay anything. To own it.so, what should you be looking for? First, locate your 1976 US Mint proof set. It would come in a hard plastic holder with coins arranged by denomination. Look closely at the penny. Does it have a D mint mark under the date? That alone is a huge red flag, in the best way possible. Next, check the surface. Is it shiny like a mirror? Do the raised parts, like Lincoln's face, the words, "In God We Trust," and the Lincoln Memorial, appear frosted? That's a sign of deep cameo quality. And finally, check for imperfections. If the coin is flawless, you could be holding a piece worth tens of thousands of dollars. But to cash in on it, you'll need to have it graded by PCGS or NGC, two of the top coin grading services in the world. Once certified, that small copper coin becomes a highly desirable investment piece that can attract serious bidders at auction. Because for collectors, this isn't just a coin. It's a once-in-a-generation find. And now, the moment you've waited for: a rare, professionally graded, deep cameo 1976 Lincoln D. Penny from a US proof set has sold at high-profile coin auctions for a jaw-dropping value between $33,000 and $62,000. Yes, from a penny.so. Before you toss that proof set aside, or assume that little coin is worthless, take another look. Because you might be sitting on one of the most valuable hidden treasures in American coin history. If you love this coin story and want to learn more about US coins worth real money, from rare wheat pennies to high-value quarters and era coins, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, because your next coin discovery could be even bigger than this one. Top 9. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, could be hiding inside your home right now, worth more than your car, your savings, or even your dream vacation? This isn't fantasy. This is the untold story of the 1977 Lincoln D. Penny, a rare and mysterious coin that may be sitting quietly in an old proof set, waiting to change your life. If you've ever collected coins, inherited a coin collection, or bought a US Mint proof set from the 1970s, this video could be your golden ticket. Let's dig deep into what makes this 1977 penny so dangerously valuable. In 1977, the US Mint was operating full steam, striking billions of coins for circulation. But for serious collectors, they also released proof sets, which included specially made coins with mirror-like surfaces and frosted details. These proof coins were only minted at the San Francisco Mint. So every proof penny from 1977 should carry the S Mint mark. But here's where it gets wild. Over the years, a handful of collectors and dealers began reporting something truly bizarre: 1977 Lincoln pennies with a D Mint mark, sealed inside proof-like packaging, and exhibiting stunning, near-flawless mirror finishes. That's right, a 1977 Lincoln D penny from a proof set. Now officially, the Denver Mint didn't produce any proof coins in 1977. So how did these D Mint marked pennies, in proof-like condition, get out into the world? Was it a mistake? A secret test run? A rogue strike that slipped through quality control? To this day, no one really knows. And that's exactly why collectors are obsessed. Because when a coin exists that shouldn't exist, and it looks better than any other penny from that year, it becomes one of the most desirable coins in American history. Let's talk about what to look for. Open up your 1977 U.S. proof set. The official packaging includes all denominations from that year, encased in hard plastic. Focus in on the penny. Does it have a D mint mark instead of an S? That's already a red flag, and in this case, a very good one. Now, look closely at the surface. Is it a deep, mirror-like shine? Are the raised parts, like Lincoln's portrait, the lettering, and the Lincoln Memorial, frosted and sharp? Does the coin look like it's never been touched, never circulated, and never aged? If so, you could be looking at a coin in deep cameo condition, the most desirable finish for proof coins. But here's the catch: value comes down to grade. A coin like this must be submitted to a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC, to determine whether it qualifies as PR69 or even the elusive PR70. These grades represent near perfect or perfect coins. No scratches, no cloudiness, no contact marks. And when a rare 1977 Lincoln D penny earns one of these top-tier grades, the value skyrockets. Auction houses have seen collectors fight over this exact kind of coin, because it's rare, mysterious, and simply doesn't belong in the normal records of U.S. mint history. Now here's where it gets very real. A deep cameo, pristine condition. Officially graded 1977 Lincoln D penny from a proof set, has sold at auction for prices ranging from $33,000 to $62,000. Yes, you heard that right. From a coin most people would ignore, toss in a drawer, or hand to a cashier without a second thought. So before you walk past your old proof set collection, before you dismiss that little copper coin as just a penny, take a closer look. You might be holding a mystery, a rare error, and a small fortune, all in one. And if you want to discover more rare and valuable U.S. coins, pennies, nickels, quarters, half dollars, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Because your next coin discovery could be worth more than you ever imagined. Drop a comment if you have a 1977 proof set, and let's see who's sitting on one of the rarest pennies in America. Top 10. What if the next time you open that old coin proof set from the 1970s, you discovered a penny worth more than a brand new luxury car? Sounds insane, right? But believe it or not, one specific version of the 1978 Lincoln penny, with a small but powerful difference, has shocked collectors across the country. It's not just rare. It's mysterious. It's loaded with value. And if you've got a proof set from 1978, this is the video you absolutely need to watch until the very end. Let's unlock this hidden gem in American coin history. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents for circulation. Most were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But for collectors, a smaller, specially crafted batch of coins was minted in San Francisco. These are known as proof coins. These proof coins were never intended for circulation. They were struck using highly polished dies, double-struck for detail, and sealed in protective plastic proof sets for collectors who appreciated top-tier minting quality. Here's what you need to know. All official 1978 proof pennies were supposed to be struck at the San Francisco Mint, and should bear the S mint mark. But then something strange happened. Reports started surfacing of 1978 Lincoln cents with a D mint mark, showing up in what looked like proof-like condition, with deep mirror fields, frosted details, and the same high-gloss finish you'd expect from a proof coin. Wait a second. D mint mark? That's the Denver Mint, which didn't officially produce any proof coins in 1978. So how did these coins get out? That's the million-dollar question. Some experts believe it could have been a mint error, others suggest it was a test strike or accidental release, and a few even say it may have been part of an internal experimental batch that slipped through the cracks. But one thing is certain, these coins aren't supposed to exist, and that's exactly why they're worth a small fortune. Now let's get into the details of what you should be looking for. Open up your 1978 U.S. Mint proof set, if you still have it. These are often stored away, forgotten in safes, drawers, closets, or passed down from parents and grandparents. Pull out the penny. First, check the mint mark. If it has an S, that's standard. But if it has a D mint mark, you've already found something potentially rare. The Denver Mint wasn't supposed to create proof coins that year. Next, look at the condition.is, the background ultra-reflective. Do Lincoln's features look frosted while the rest of the coin gleams like a mirror? That's what's called a deep cameo finish, and it's the hallmark of a truly elite coin. But here's where the value skyrockets: the grade. You need to send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to have it evaluated. If it receives a grade of PR69 or the incredibly rare PR70 deep cameo, you're now holding something truly special, a top-tier rarity from one of the most collected series in U.S. coin history. And let's not forget, the Lincoln cent is the most collected coin in America. Combine that with an error, a mystery mint mark, and proof condition, and what you've got is a collector's dream. Coins like this don't just go in albums. They go into vaults, auction houses, and private investment portfolios. People with deep pockets are willing to pay massive amounts to add a rare, possibly unauthorized 1978 Lincoln D-proof penny to their collections. And now, for the number everyone's waiting for, a professionally graded, deep cameo condition 1978 Lincoln D penny from a U.S. proof set has sold for an astonishing price between $33,000 and $61,000. Yes, from a coin worth 1 cent on its face. So if you've got a 1978 proof set, check it carefully. That single penny inside might just be the most valuable thing you've ever owned. If you found this video helpful, or if you want to discover more valuable coins hiding in U.S. change, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. And don't forget to comment below. Do you have a 1978 penny with a D mint mark? Who knows? Your story might be the next one we feature, because sometimes, the smallest coin makes the biggest impact. Top 11. Have you ever stared at a penny and thought, could this tiny coin be the key to unlocking tens of thousands of dollars? Because today, we're about to dive deep into one of the most shocking discoveries in the world of U.S. coin collecting, a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable, most people don't even know it exists. But when they find out, they can't stop searching for it. This isn't just another penny. This is the 1979 Lincoln D penny, and not just any version. We're talking about the ultra-rare proof strike, straight from a proof set, marked with AD for the Denver Mint. Sounds impossible? That's exactly why it's worth so much. This is the coin that has collectors, investors, and everyday Americans flipping through their old change, digging into their closets, and tearing through their old U.S. mint-proof sets. Because this isn't a fantasy. It's real. And it's out there. Now, before we reveal just how much this coin has sold for, and it's a number that'll make your jaw drop, let's take a look at what makes this specific 1979 Lincoln D penny such a treasure. By now, most of us are familiar with the iconic Lincoln cent. It's been in our pockets for decades. But what most people don't know is that 1979 was a year full of strange coin minting activity, especially at the Denver Mint. Normally, proof coins are minted in San Francisco and marked with an S. These proof coins are the absolute best quality, mirror-like finish, flawless details, and sharp strikes. They're made specifically for collectors and never meant for everyday circulation. But somehow, just somehow, a small number of 1979 Lincoln pennies with a D mint mark have surfaced that appear to be proof struck. That's not supposed to happen. These coins were either an error, an experiment, or a quiet minting mystery that the U.S. Mint never publicly explained. And whenever you mix mystery with rarity, value explodes. So how do you know if you might be holding one of these proof-like Lincoln D pennies from 1979? Start with the basics. Look for the D mint mark right under the date. That D stands for Denver, and that's step 1. Now, here's where it gets serious. The surface of the coin should have a deep, glassy mirror finish. The design, Lincoln's bust and the lettering, should pop with frosted detail, sharp edges, and absolutely stunning contrast. These are not normal business strike coins. They shouldn't exist. And yet, a few lucky collectors have found them inside original 1979 proof sets or hidden in plain sight among forgotten collections. So if you've got old proof sets lying around, it's time to open them up. You might be staring at a penny that looks innocent on the outside, but could be one of the most expensive pennies in American coin collecting history. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated these rare examples, and when they hit the auction block, it's pure fire. Now listen closely, because this is the moment you've been waiting for. One of these 1979 Lincoln D pennies, struck with stunning proof quality, straight from a proof set, has sold for over $33,000. And others in even better condition have reached an astonishing $55,000. Yes, you've heard that right. A 1-cent coin that collectors have paid as much as $55,000 for. $33,000 to $55,000. For a penny. Still think checking your old coins isn't worth the time? Go check your proof sets. Look through those forgotten coin albums. Ask your family if they ever bought mint sets from the late 70s. Because if one of these coins is sitting in your home, your luck could change in a second. Don't forget to like this video if you found it mind-blowing. Hit that subscribe button for more rare coin discoveries. And share this with someone who's always tossing their pennies in a jar. They might be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. And remember, never underestimate the power of a penny. Top 12. Have you ever dreamed of finding a fortune in your coin jar? Because what I'm about to show you isn't just another penny. It's a coin that breaks all the rules. A coin that's so rare, it was never meant to leave the US Mint. And if you find one, your life could change in a single second. We're talking about a 1980 Lincoln D penny, but not the regular version. This one is different. It's from a proof set, a coin that should have never existed the way it does. And yet, a handful of collectors have uncovered them. When they do, the price tags attached are absolutely unbelievable. So before you toss that change on your dresser, before you cash in that old coin roll, watch this video to the very end, because this might be the most important penny you've ever seen. Let's dive in. The Lincoln penny, one of the most collected coins in the world. Since 1909, it's featured the face of Abraham Lincoln, and billions have been struck. But not all pennies are created equal. And not all are meant for circulation. In the world of coin collecting, proof coins are the elite. They're struck multiple times with specially polished dies, using hand-selected blanks, to create the highest quality finish imaginable. Mirror-like surfaces. Razor-sharp details. A finish so perfect you'd think it was laser cut. And in 1980, all US proof coins were supposed to be minted in San Francisco, marked with an S. But somehow, a few 1980 Lincoln cents with a D mint mark, for Denver, showed up with unmistakable proof characteristics. Think about that. A proof coin. From Denver. That was never supposed to happen, and that's why collectors go absolutely wild over this. These coins weren't publicly released. They weren't supposed to be packaged in proof sets. But somehow, through either mint error, experimental production, or mystery, a small number of proof-like 1980 Lincoln pennies with a D mint mark slipped out. And now, they're some of the most sought-after coins in the Lincoln series. Now here's where it gets crazy. These aren't coins you'll find in every proof set. They're rare. Extremely rare. Most collectors have never seen one. But when they do turn up, in untouched 1980 proof sets, forgotten in attics, or tucked away in old US Mint packaging, the results are explosive. So what exactly should you be looking for? Start with the obvious. The year 1980, and a clear D mint mark beneath the date. That's Denver. But then look closer. If the coin has a deep, reflective, glassy surface, with frosted design elements, and incredibly sharp detail, you may be holding something extraordinary. These coins do not look like ordinary circulation strikes. They don't look like they came from a coin roll. They look like they were crafted under a microscope. And the moment a coin like this is verified and graded by a top-tier company like PCGS or NGC, collectors are ready to throw down serious money. Why? Because mystery, rarity, and perfection are the perfect storm in the coin world. And this coin has all three. Now here's the part that should have you running to your closet right now. A confirmed 1980 Lincoln D penny with proof-like qualities from an actual US proof set has sold for as much as $33,000. And the most flawless examples? They've reached a jaw-dropping value of up to $54,000. That's right. 1 penny. $33,000 to $54,000. From a coin that shouldn't even exist. Still think that old coin set your parents gave you is worthless? Think again. If you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and ring the bell so you never miss a hidden treasure. Drop a comment if you've got any 1980 proof sets at home, or if you've ever found a rare penny that made your heart skip a beat. And remember, that next coin you check could be the one that changes everything. Top 13. Have you ever wondered if a single penny could pay off your debt, buy you a new car, or even kickstart your dream life? Because today's video is about a coin that looks like it's worth just 1 cent, but it could actually be worth a small fortune. We're talking about the 1982 Lincoln penny with a Denver mint mark, a coin that's been causing a massive buzz in the coin collecting world, especially when it comes from a proof set. And let me be clear, this is not your everyday pocket change. This is a coin that's surrounded by mystery, loaded with value, and still out there waiting to be discovered. If you're into rare coins, coin collecting, or just love the idea of finding treasure in your own home, this video is going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Because what's hidden in your old drawer or mint set could be the very thing people are paying tens of thousands of dollars for. So let's talk about the 1982 Lincoln D penny, and why it's unlike anything else. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint went through some serious changes. Especially in 1982. That year is infamous among collectors. Why? Because it was the year the penny changed, not just in design or minting location, but in its very core. Before 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper. But during the year, due to rising costs, the U.S. Mint transitioned to zinc pennies with a thin copper coating. This shift caused all kinds of variations. Different weights, different dyes, different compositions. And for collectors? That was like throwing gasoline on a fire. But what makes the 1982 Lincoln D penny so unbelievably rare isn't just its composition, it's the fact that a small number of them were struck in proof-like quality, even though they came from the Denver Mint, and even though proof coins were not supposed to be minted there. That's right. Proof coins are usually made at the San Francisco Mint, not Denver. They are struck using specially polished dies and carefully prepared planchets, resulting in stunning, mirror-like surfaces and frosted details. They are never meant for circulation and are typically packaged in official U.S. Mint proof sets for collectors. But in rare cases, a few 1982 Lincoln D pennies have shown up that look, feel, and test like proof coins, with flawless detail, deep reflective fields, and extraordinary quality, even though they carry the D Mint mark from Denver. Now ask yourself, how could that even happen? Some experts believe these may have been test strikes. Others think they were accidentally packaged. And some even suggest they were quietly released without public knowledge. Whatever the truth is, one thing is for sure, these coins are extremely rare, and the demand for them is skyrocketing. So how can you tell if you have one? Start by checking your 1982 pennies. Look for a D Mint mark under the date. But more importantly, look at the finish. If your coin shines like a mirror, has deep cameo contrast between the frosted design and glossy background, and looks too perfect to be normal, you might be holding something extraordinary. Also, dig out those old 1982 proof sets. Search your family's collection. Look at sealed U.S. Mint packaging from that year. If you find a Lincoln D penny that doesn't match the usual specs, don't brush it off. Because coins like this have been authenticated by top grading companies like PCGS and NGC. And when they go up for auction, they leave jaws on the floor. Now for the part that should make you double-check every coin in your house. A genuine 1982 Lincoln D penny with proof-like features, verified and preserved in top condition, has sold in the past for as much as $33,000, and in pristine, mirror-perfect condition, one has gone for $52,000. Yes, that's a 1 cent coin. $33,000 to $52,000. It's not a myth. It's not a rumor. It's real money, real sales, and a real chance for someone, maybe you, to turn a forgotten penny into a payday most people can only dream about. If this video shocked you, hit that like button and subscribe, because we have even more rare coin stories coming that could change the way you look at your change forever. Share this with someone who keeps a coin jar. They might be sitting on a treasure without knowing it. And remember, never underestimate a penny. Especially not one from 1982 with a Denver Mint mark and a secret history. Top 14. What if I told you there's a 1-cent coin hiding in your home that could be worth more than your car, your vacation, or even your savings account? Sounds crazy, right? But not when we're talking about the 1981 Lincoln penny, with the Denver Mint mark, that wasn't just minted for circulation, but somehow ended up in proof-like condition. And if you find one of these rare coins in your possession, you could be holding a small fortune. You're not going to believe this story. Because it's not a rumor. It's not hype. This is a verified US coin mystery that has stunned collectors, auction houses, and even some of the biggest coin grading companies in the world. Let's dive into one of the most shocking, rarest, and most valuable pennies you'll ever hear about, the 1981 Lincoln D penny from a proof set. First, here's what you need to understand. Every year, the US Mint strikes millions, sometimes billions, of Lincoln cents. Most are everyday circulation coins. Nothing special. But a very limited number are made as proof coins, ultra-sharp, deeply polished, mirror-finished coins created exclusively for collectors. And these proof coins are almost always struck in San Francisco, marked with an S. That's the rule. But in rare and mysterious cases, coins have turned up from Denver, marked with a D, that have the unmistakable look, feel, and finish of a proof coin. That's where the 1981 Lincoln D penny comes in. It's not just rare, it's confusing. Because it was never supposed to be struck in this style. Yet a tiny handful have shown up inside US Mint packaging, sealed in old proof sets, or stashed away in forgotten collections. And when discovered, they shake the coin collecting world. So what makes this coin special? It's all in the finish. A normal 1981 D penny has a standard business strike appearance, flat, matte, and made for circulation. But a proof-like version of this coin looks completely different. It has high-definition details, a mirror-like background, and a frost-covered image of Lincoln that pops off the coin like a 3D sculpture. That kind of quality doesn't happen by accident. It means the coin was struck using highly polished dies, the kind used for proof coins, and likely pressed more than once for that razor-sharp detail. It's a minting process reserved for special coins, and yet somehow, it happened at the Denver Mint. Collectors call this the perfect mix of error, rarity, and perfection, the trifecta that drives values into the stratosphere. Now here's where things get exciting. You might be sitting on one of these right now without even realizing it. If you or someone in your family ever bought a 1981 US Mint proof set, or if you've got old coins passed down through generations, you need to check those Lincoln cents. If you spot a D Mint mark and the coin looks almost too beautiful to be real, ultra-reflective, flawless, and bold, you might just have the jackpot. Because when coins like this are graded by companies like PCGS or NGC and confirmed as proof-like or high-quality mint errors, their value explodes. These aren't coins that end up in vending machines. These are coins that end up in sealed glass cases at major auction houses, with collectors battling to own a piece of US Mint history. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. A verified 1981 Lincoln D penny with proof set quality and brilliant uncirculated condition has sold for as much as $33,000. While some of the finest examples ever discovered have reached an absolutely mind-blowing value of $55,000. That's not a typo. That's $33,000 to $55,000 for a 1-cent coin. So now the only question left is, could it be sitting in your collection? Go check those proof sets. Revisit that old change jar. Look through anything marked 1981 with a D Mint mark. Because this might be your once-in-a-lifetime chance to turn a penny into pure gold. Smash that like button if this just blew your mind, hit subscribe for more rare coin finds, and drop a comment if you've ever held onto a strange-looking penny. You might be holding something worth thousands. Remember, treasure doesn't always come in gold bars. Sometimes it comes in copper or zinc. and it only costs 1 cent to find. Top 15. What if the next penny you pick up could be the biggest financial surprise of your life? Imagine flipping over an ordinary-looking coin and discovering it's one of the rarest, most valuable, and most unexpected treasures ever released by the U.S. Mint. A coin not just worth keeping, but worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. Because today we're revealing the unbelievable story behind a true hidden gem. The 1983 Lincoln penny, that came from a proof set, and shocked the entire coin collecting world. You're about to find out why this particular coin, yes, a single 1-cent piece, is now being hunted by collectors, coin dealers, and treasure seekers across the country. So before you cash in that coin jar, donate that old proof set, or ignore that dusty US Mint box hiding in your closet, you're going to want to hear this. Let's break it down. The year 1983 was a turning point for the US Mint. Just a year earlier, in 1982, the composition of the penny officially changed, from heavy copper to lighter zinc with a thin copper coating. That change created a storm of minting variations, and 1983 picked up right where that storm left off. But here's where it gets interesting and valuable. Proof coins, known for their flawless strike, mirror-like finish, and deep cameo details, are usually minted in San Francisco. They're specially made for collectors and sold in sealed U.S. Mint proof sets. They almost never have a DE Mint mark, and they are never supposed to come from the Denver Mint. But somehow, and nobody knows exactly how, a very small number of 1983 Lincoln cents with proof-like qualities have surfaced that defy everything we thought we knew. These coins have the deep mirrored fields, the frosted bust of Lincoln, and the razor-sharp strike that scream proof coin, yet they came with no S Mint mark. And in some extremely rare cases, they've been linked to proof set packaging. Some experts believe these coins were accidentally struck using proof dies on regular mint presses, while others think they may have been included in error during packaging at the mint. Whatever the cause, the result is one of the rarest and most confusing Lincoln pennies to ever hit the collector's radar. So how do you know if you have one? Start by checking your 1983 Lincoln cents, especially the ones stored in proof sets or untouched U.S. Mint packaging. Look closely. If the background of the coin reflects like a mirror, and Lincoln's face looks like it was sculpted in 3D with frosted detail, you're not holding a normal coin. You might just be looking at one of the most valuable pennies in America. And the surface alone isn't the only clue. In 1983, the Mint had already transitioned fully to zinc pennies. So a proof-like penny from that year not only stands out because of its finish, it also stands out because of its unusual weight and how it reacts to grading tests. That's why major grading companies like NGC and PCGS pay extra attention to these 1983 cents when they come across the desk. They're rare. They're confusing. And they're worth more than some people make in an entire year. Now, let's talk numbers. Because while most pennies from 1983 are barely worth more than face value, even in uncirculated condition, the ultra-rare proof strike versions linked to proof sets have stunned collectors by reaching insane values on the open market. And here it is. A verified 1983 Lincoln penny, with proof-like characteristics, straight from a proof set and in top collectible condition, has been sold for as much as $33,000, and at the highest level of preservation and rarity, one has even reached a value of $51,000. Yes, you heard that right. $33,000 to $51,000. For one penny. So the next time someone tells you a penny isn't worth your time, remember the 1983 proof-like Lincoln cent. Because one of them might be hiding in your home, sealed in a forgotten U.S. Mint set, or resting in a collection you haven't looked at in years. Smash that like button if this surprised you, hit subscribe if you want more insane coin finds, and drop a comment if you're checking your 1983 pennies right now. You never know, your next payday might be hiding in copper and zinc. And remember, in the world of coins, even a single cent can be priceless. Top 16. Let me ask you something. What would you do if a tiny coin you've had sitting in your house for years turned out to be worth more than a brand new car? Because today's story isn't about a silver coin. It's not gold. It's not some ancient treasure buried in the ground. It's a regular Lincoln penny, one you've probably seen hundreds of times, from the year 1987. But this version? This one's different. This one came from a proof set. And if you've got one, or even think you do, it could be the single most valuable coin in your entire collection. So don't blink. Don't skip. Because this isn't just another old coin story. This is the kind of find that turns pocket change into pure profit. Let's go deep into what makes the 1987 Lincoln penny from a proof set so rare, and why it's now one of the most shocking discoveries in modern U.S. coin collecting. Now you already know Lincoln cents have been around forever. From 1909 until now, they've remained the most collected and widely circulated coins in American history. But every so often, one year, one mint, one mistake, changes everything. In 1987, the U.S. Mint issued millions of regular circulation pennies. But they also created proof coins, the highest quality coins they strike, using special dyes and polished blanks. These coins are sharp, flawless, and mirror-like. They're never meant to be used in everyday circulation. They're reserved for collectors and placed in official U.S. Mint proof sets. And that's where the magic begins. Normally, proof pennies from 1987 would have an S mint mark for San Francisco. That's standard. But in rare cases, pennies have surfaced with characteristics that suggest something was very, very different. Some 1987 Lincoln cents, still sealed in proof sets, show proof-like strikes that don't follow the normal minting rules. There are a few coins that display deep cameo contrast, glassy surfaces, and ultra-sharp features, the hallmarks of a perfect proof coin. But something about them just doesn't match up. Either they're missing their mint mark, or they came from sets that shouldn't contain that type of coin at all. Some collectors believe these coins were accidental inclusions, or test strikes never meant to leave the mint. Others think they were quietly released in limited numbers due to a packaging mistake or experimental run. Whatever the cause, the effect is crystal clear. These 1987 Lincoln cents from proof sets, when found in pristine condition with all the signs of a true proof strike, have become incredibly rare and valuable. So now you're probably asking, how do I know if I have one? Here's what you look for. Step 1. Locate your 1987 U.S. Mint proof set. If you've ever collected coins, inherited a set from a relative, or picked up one from a flea market or estate sale, check it now. Step 2. Look at the penny. Is the surface mirror-like? Does Lincoln's image appear frosted, with bold, crisp detail? Can you see strong contrast between the field and the design? If yes, don't even think about spending it. Because when coins like this get authenticated by PCGS or NGC, and the quality is confirmed, the value goes from 1 cent to thousands. Collectors across the country are searching proof sets from the 1980s for these exact types of minting anomalies. And if you're lucky enough to find one, you're holding something that could make a serious impact on your wallet. And now, the number that makes jaws drop. A verified 1987 Lincoln penny from a proof set, with deep cameo features and flawless strike quality, has sold at auction for as much as $33,000. With the most pristine example reaching an incredible $45,000. That's right. A penny. 1 cent, $33,000 to $45,000. All because it came from a proof set, and carried the kind of perfection no regular penny ever should. So what are you waiting for? Go check your proof sets. Dig through your coin boxes. Ask your family if they ever bought US Mint sets in the 80s. Because this story isn't just about rare coins, it's about opportunity. Hit that like button if this shocked you, subscribe for more rare coin videos, and drop a comment if you're holding on to a 1987 proof set right now. Your penny might be your next paycheck. And always remember, in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest piece can bring the biggest surprise. Top 17. Let me ask you something that might change your life. What if the smallest coin in your collection, the one you thought was just another ordinary penny, is actually a silent goldmine waiting to be discovered? Because today we're talking about one of the most mysterious and insanely valuable coins hiding in plain sight, the 1992 Lincoln penny, but not just any version, the one that came from a proof set. And if you're lucky enough to own it, you could be sitting on a secret worth tens of thousands of dollars. So don't take your eyes off the screen, because this isn't just another story about an old coin. This is about a real chance to turn 1 cent into an unexpected fortune. Now, let's dive into what makes the 1992 Lincoln penny from a proof set so incredibly rare, highly collectible, and wildly valuable. Here's what most people don't realize. In 1992, the U.S. Mint was still using the Lincoln Memorial reverse, the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial building that had been on the back of pennies since 1959. But for collectors and experts, something unusual happened during that year's proof coin production. Something that would later become one of the most talked about modern coin mysteries in American numismatic history. While most 1992 proof pennies were struck with the standard wide AM in America, on the reverse side, a very small number were minted using a prototype reverse design, known today as the closed AM variety. This tiny detail, almost invisible to the untrained eye, is what transforms an ordinary 1992 penny into a jaw-dropping treasure. But that's not all. These rare 1992 closed AM pennies have been confirmed to come from proof sets, which were never meant to contain experimental or transitional designs. That means either the wrong die was used, or a test coin was accidentally included in the production. Either way, it turned out to be one of the most expensive mistakes the US Mint has ever made, and now collectors are on a nationwide hunt. So how do you know if you have one? Step 1. Grab any official 1992 US Mint proof set you own. Open it carefully and examine the penny inside. Step 2. Flip it over. Look at the word America. If the A and M are nearly touching, instead of having a noticeable space between them, then stop everything. What you're looking at might just be the legendary close AM proof. Step 3. Inspect the overall condition. A sharp, mirror-like finish with frosted design features is what proof coins are all about, and if your 1992 Lincoln cent shows both the close AM reverse and deep cameo details, you're looking at something extremely rare. Collectors are desperate to get their hands on these coins. Why? Because the US Mint never officially acknowledged the mistake, and the number of known examples is unbelievably low. Each discovery is like striking numismatic gold. These coins have been graded and authenticated by top-tier grading companies like PCGS and NGC, and they continue to make headlines in coin auctions across the country. And now, the part you've been waiting for. A verified 1992 Lincoln penny from a proof set, showing the closed AM reverse and preserved in exceptional proof condition, has sold for as much as $33,000, and the finest example discovered so far has reached a market value of $39,000. That's right, 1 penny. Just one. $33,000 to $39,000. So before you walk past your old coin collection, before you overlook that dusty proof set from the 90s, take another look. Because buried inside might be a once-in-a-lifetime find, and your 1 cent could turn into a 5-digit payday. Smash that like button if this surprised you, hit that subscribe for more jaw-dropping coin finds, and let me know in the comments if you're checking your 1992 proof sets right now, because you might be one close AM away from a major discovery. And remember, sometimes the smallest details bring the biggest rewards.